Hello students, this is Seema Gaur from Srimati LP Savani Vidya Bhavan, and today we are going to start our semester 2 for social science, chapter number 1, socio-religious reforms. Your word socio means social and reforms means the change or the improvement. So let's start. In the 19th century, Indian society was infested with various social evils like superstition, illiteracy, ignorance, evil social customs, caste system, etc. The condition of women was worse in this narrow-minded society. Various evil customs were widespread in our society, like the custom of doodh piti, female infanticide by immersing a newborn girl child into a container full of milk. Sati system, the burning of woman on her husband's funeral pyre, denial of widow remarriage, etc. Due to the Western education, a new awakening, that is Renaissance, began in the 19th century to remove the evil customs from the society. Intensive efforts were made to bring in social and religious reforms. Raja Ram Mohan Roy was the first among such reformers. So here students, in 19th century, that is from 1801 to 1899, our Indian society that was fully dipped into the various social evils like superstition means black magic, myths, magics, illiteracy, that is education, lack of education. That time the people were not taking all the people were not taking education, so illiteracy was spread, ignorance, evil social customs about which we will learn, and caste system. Some caste to be considered upper caste and some caste to be considered the lower caste, and the lower or the backward caste people, they had to suffer a lot because they were ill-treated by the so-called upper caste like Brahmins, and the landlords, they used to treat the lower class people very badly. So, and the condition of the women was even worse in the society. Like evil customs were widespread in our country for the women. Like one was doodh piti. That means the newborn girl child, she was dipped into a container full of milk and killed. Second was sati system, that was burning of a woman, means a wife has to die with her husband, even if she is if she does not want, then also she has to die forcefully with her husband. And denial of widow remarriage, when some widow, if she want to get married again, she did not received any support from the society, and people did not allow any widow to get remarried. And we have learned in the SAM 1 that Britishers started schools and colleges for the people. So the people who has taken the Western education, they because of that a new awakening started in the 19th century to remove such evil customs from the society, and great efforts were made by these kind of people who got education, the Western education. Those who have taken, they came to know what is going on in the world and what all things are wrong going on in India. These social and evil customs were going on in the name of religion, caste, etc. And among them, Raja Ram Mohan Roy, he was the first one who tried to bring out change in the Indian society. Roy. Raja Ram Mohan Roy was born in the year 1772 CE in the Hooghly district of Bengal in Radhanagar village in a Brahmin family. Raja Ram Mohan Roy got married in his early childhood. His brother's wife became sati on her husband's death. This incident shook Raja Ram Mohan Roy deeply. He initiated many reforms and protested strongly against the evil customs such as child marriage, casteism, doodh piti, etc. So now here it is mentioned that he was born in 1772 in the Hooghly district of Bengal in a Radhanagar village, but mention of his caste is also given, that is Brahmin family. Means that time Brahmin family was given a importance, means it was considered to be a upper caste, and in his family only, means he himself got married in his childhood only. That time the evil customs were going on, I said. So he also got married in his early childhood, that is the child marriage. And his brother's wife became Sati on her husband's death. Means when his brother died, his wife became Sati on her husband's death, and that shook Raja Ram Mohan Roy deeply, that what all these evil customs are going on in the society. So he started to make changes and he opposed strongly all the evil customs which were going on in the society, like child marriage, casteism, doodh piti, etc. He also started the Bengali newspaper, namely Samvad Kaumudi, in the year 1821, and also Miratul Akbar in Persian in the year 1822. Brahmo Samaj was established in the year 1828 CE. And Raja Ram Mohan Roy established the Hindu College in Kolkata. He recommended many changes to the British government, like the independence of press, freedom of speech, women's rights, personal liberty, judiciary independent from executive, etc. Raja Ram Mohan Roy started movement to abolish the sati system. When he wanted to improve the society, first what he did, he protested strongly against the evil customs. Then he started the Bengali newspaper, Samvad Kaumudi, and also one more newspaper, Miratul Akbar, in Persian. He also established one organization called Brahmo Samaj for removing these social and evil customs from the society. He also started a Hindu college in Kolkata. He recommended many changes. So whatever changes he wanted from the British government for the Indian society, he asked from the British government. Like he wanted independence for press, that is the printing press, the newspaper, they can print anything what they want. They should not be under any control. Plus freedom of speech, like people should have freedom to speak anything. And women's right, as we have learned that women were considered, means women's condition was worst in that society. So he wanted to increase some rights of women. Personal liberty he demanded from the Britishers, judiciary independence from executive. He wanted that justice should be done to every Indian citizen. So all these things he recommended to the British government. And as a result, the British Governor General Lord William Bentinck, he passed a law to abolish the sati pratha. And this law was framed in 1829. So it can be said that Raja Ram Mohan Roy laid the foundation of the Indian Renaissance, that is the new awakening with regards to the initiating the society, religious, initiating the social, religious and political reforms. Because of his efforts only, many changes were brought by the government, that is the British government, and the law banning the sati system, sati pratha, was passed in 1829. And so we can say that he was the first person, or we can say first social reformer, social, even religious and political reformer of the country. The Emperor of Delhi sent Raja Ram Mohan Roy to England in the year 1830 CE. in regards to his case of right to property. Raja Ram Mohan Roy died in Bristol in the year 1833 CE. And Brahmo Samaj played a vital role in reforming the contemporary Hindu Samaj, that is the society, and Brahmo Samaj tried to abolish the rigid and superstitious religious belief prevalent then. The Emperor of Delhi, the Emperor himself was having one case in England, so he sent Raja Ram Mohan Roy for his right to property to England, and there when Raja Ram Mohan Roy went to England, he died there in the year 1833 in Bristol. But the organization which was established by Raja Ram Mohan Roy, that is the Brahmo Samaj, that played a vital role, that is an important role in changing the society, that is the Hindu Samaj that time. And Brahmo Samaj even tried to abolish, that means to remove the hard and unchangeable superstitious religious belief which were going on that time. In this way, after his death also, Brahmo Samaj was trying to abolish this hard, superstitious and evil customs from the society. So, Raja Ram Mohan Roy was called the first social reformer who tried to remove the social customs from the society, that is the evil customs which were prevailing in the society that time. The second social reformer about whom we are going to learn is Dayanand Saraswati. From the picture itself you can make out he is like a saint, wearing such a simple clothes. So now let's start. Dayanand Saraswati was born in a Brahmin family in Tankara village near Morbi in Saurashtra. In his early childhood, he realized that the idol worshipping and religious rituals were worthless. He renounced his family and the world in search of truth. He travelled across India for the next 15 years and also studied yoga. He became a sannyasi, that is an ascetic or recluse, and studied the philosophy of Hinduism from Swami Virajanand Dandisha in Mathura. Now this Dayanand Saraswati, he was also born in a Brahmin family, but he was born in Gujarat, that is one village named Tankara near Morbi in Saurashtra. And from his childhood only, he felt that the idol worshipping and the religious rituals, whatever the puja and all the people were doing, that is all worthless, that is useless. So he left his family and the world and he wanted to search for truth. And so he travelled across whole of India for the 15 years and he also studied yoga during that time. He became a sannyasi, that means a saint who lived alone and remained far from the people. And he also studied the philosophy. During this 15 years when he went Mathura, he learned the philosophy of Hinduism from Swami Virajanand Dandisha. Swami Dayanand Saraswati made an attempt to achieve national unity by advocating a classless and casteless society. He acquired a deep insight into the Indian culture and religion through Vedas. He preached to the people to go back to Vedas. He wrote a book entitled Satyartha Prakash. He made the people aware that in the Vedas there is no mention about the evil customs such as idol worship, rituals, child marriage, sati pratha, untouchability, etc. He advocated monotheism. There is only one God. He preached in Hindi and as a result, his thoughts reached the maximum number of people in the world. Dayanand Saraswati also established Arya Samaj in 1875, branches of which were established in Lahore, Punjab, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan and Gujarat. Consequently, social changes occurred rapidly. Arya Samaj started a movement to reconvert those people to Hinduism who had changed their religion out of force or choice and were willing to return to their original faith. So, when Swami Dayanand Saraswati learned the philosophy of Hinduism, he tried to achieve the national unity by supporting the classless and casteless society. So he had actually got a good knowledge of Indian culture and religion through Vedas. When he learned the philosophy of Hinduism, he got a good knowledge of Vedas, and so he started teaching the people that go back to Vedas. And he also wrote a book named Satyartha Prakash, in which he made the people aware that in Vedas there is no mention about the evil customs which the people were doing at that time, idol worshipping, or that yagna and all that, child marriage, sati pratha, that untouchability was there for the lower class people. So he taught the people that all these things are not mentioned in our Vedas, and there is only one God. He advocated monotheism. Your word monotheism means there is only one God, believe only in one God. And all these things he was teaching in Hindi language so that maximum number of people could understand in our country, and that is why he got his results. That were the good positive result he got, and so he established one organization called Arya Samaj in 1875, and even the branches of this organization were established in Lahore, Punjab and Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan and Gujarat, so that people can take good knowledge about Hinduism. And this organization, they started one movement to reconvert the people, those who have changed their religion according to their means without their willingness, they have changed to some other religion like Muslim, Christian, etc. They were being changed forcefully or by choice if they have changed, and again if they wanted to become Hindu. This organization were helping the Indians to go back again to the Hindu religion. After the death of Swami Dayanand Saraswati also, these activities of this organization were continued by some of the leaders like Lala Hansraj, Pandit Gurudutt and Lala Lajpat Rai in the year 1902. One Gurukul was established named Kangdi Gurukul near Haridwar by Swami Shraddhanand, and one Arya Kanya Mahavidyalaya was started in Vadodara, Gujarat, where the education was focused on inculcating discipline, dignity of labor, tolerance, patience and moral values. So you can see that his teachings were so powerful that even after he died, his organization was working, and still we have these offices of this Arya Samaj in our cities. Even in, we can say, Gujarat, various cities, we have the offices of Arya Samaj who is trying to help the Hindu people. The next social reformer is Ramakrishna Paramhans. Now this Ramakrishna Paramhans, he was the torchbearer of the Indian culture. He was also a reformer and saint who had sought the truth through all the religions. Now your students, torchbearer means the person who shows the way, the path to the people who have forgotten their way in the darkness. Means at that time, the Indian society that was going through the darkness of social and evil customs. So this Ramakrishna Paramhans is called torchbearer of Indian culture. He is also called a social reformer, and he was a saint who had seen the truth through all the religions. Okay, he was born in Kamarpukur village of Hooghly district in Bengal. So one more social reformer from Bengal. He took interest in the religious activities from his childhood. He became a priest in the Kali temple of Dakshineshwar near Kolkata. As he was taking interest during his childhood only from the religious activities, so he became priest. He became saint in one Kali temple in Dakshineshwar near Kolkata. Many people were attracted towards him due to his preaching on purity of character and deep knowledge. He tried to attain God in various forms. By his picture itself, you can say that he was a very simple man, and he taught the people about purity of character, how we can keep our character pure, and he gave the deep knowledge to the people, and so people got attracted towards his teaching. He tried to attain God in various forms, like by doing yoga, dhyan, by performing puja. Many religious reformers like Keshav Chandra Sen, Dayanand Saraswati and others had obtained guidance from him. He was such a good social reformer, like many religious reformers. As we have learned about Dayanand Saraswati, he and some more, Keshav Chandra Sen, they were taking guidance from him regarding the religions. And those who were influenced by the Western culture redeveloped their faith in culture and religion of India because of the preachings of the Ramakrishna Paramhans. That time, lot of influence was seen of Western culture on Indians. Okay, so they have lost the faith in their own culture and religion, like those who were Hindus, and they have lost the faith in their own religion. By the teachings of Ramakrishna Paramhans, they redeveloped their culture, the Hindu culture, the Indian culture and religion, because only of his preachings, that are preachings of Ramakrishna Paramhans.